Good Sunday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we have a lot of severe weather to talk about. Plus, some of the things have gotten worse, like the flash flood threats. We haven't seen any upgrades, but it's now because it does include more areas now. And we will be going over those. And then we'll also be taking a look at some hazards at the end of this video, which are going to mean the chance of excessive heat, precipitation, and all that stuff. So we will be going over a lot of things in today's video. So make sure to stay tuned till the end, because this is something that you should know. And of course, don't forget to like and as well as subscribe down below if you haven't already. And of course, comment if you have any questions, concerns, or if you want to let me know if this is your favorite thumbnail or not. But let's first go ahead and look at what's happening across the Dakotas today. And as you can see, extreme southern North Dakota, back into almost all of South Dakota, into southwest Minnesota, northwest Iowa, into central parts of Nebraska, and as well as northern Kansas will be at risk for some severe storms today. And if you do live in that area, make sure you do have ways to receive alerts, as we could see a few spin up tornadoes today. Not really looking like a huge concern, but still be aware of that because sometimes it can happen. Same goes with damaging winds, especially. We do have a 15% risk for damaging winds, with even a hatched risk, which means 75 hurricane force winds cannot be rolled out. And I don't mean 75 wind gusts are hurricane force. What I meant to say is 75 mile per hour winds are hurricane force winds, which are very strong winds. So make sure you do secure your objects if you do live in this black outlined area, as you can see. So pretty much this black circle that has those lines going through it, make sure you do secure your objects in that area. And of course, secure it if you live in any of this yellow color, because we could still very well see some 70 mile per hour winds in some areas. And then same goes for down here for the hail threat, as you can see. So same goes for all hazards. Okay, like I said, make sure you secure your objects. Definitely make sure your car is ready in your garage, and of course make sure to have something in place just in case a brief spin up tornado were to occur. Now for tomorrow, as you can see, we do have the area of concern now, and as you guys can see, that is pretty much from the Dakotas, and then this other marginal risk heads from southeast Minnesota all the way down into Tennessee. Okay, a very big marginal risk, and as you guys can see, we do have a threat for some tornadoes. Okay, I don't think anyone will have to worry too much about tornadoes tomorrow, not because of the probability, but because of how widespread it is. Okay, how widespread it is definitely gives a lesser concern about about one of the people getting hit. You should still obviously have something in place just in case, but like I said, because of how widespread this tornado threat is, the chances are really low, and so it's definitely something to still be aware about just in case. But like I said, the chances of you getting hit by a tornado tomorrow are really low, especially because a lot of at risk, and it's just a low tornado threat, like I said. So nothing too much to worry about, but you should still at least have something in place just in case. And then same goes for the wind and hail threat, pretty low hail and wind threat, but you should still be prepared just in case, because we can still very well be seeing damaging winds as high as 60 miles per hour, and of course some large hail too as well. So it's something that we still need to be aware about as we do head into tomorrow. Now, if we look at day 3, which will be for Tuesday, which will be after tomorrow, okay, we do have a marginal risk came from the Dakotas all the way down into the Tennessee. Okay, that is definitely going to be a more concerning corridor, and that's because models are pointing out a much higher threat for severe thunderstorms. Okay, I do think the Storm Prediction Center will have to upgrade one of these areas to a slight risk for severe thunderstorms on Tuesday. day, and that's because this is really looking like a concerning day given on what the models are showing. So it's definitely good to start being on high alert by now if you live in this brown area, which does indicate a 5% risk for severe weather, not for damaging winds, hail, or tornadoes, but a 5% risk for any severe weather. So we will definitely be seeing a marginal risk in play, but like I said, I do think the Storm Prediction Center will need to upgrade one of these areas to a slight risk. Now, if we look at some more future severe weather, okay, the reason why I'm concerned about maybe an upgrade to a slight risk on Tuesday is because look at what the Colorado State University is showing. Look at all that. The Dakotas over here is in the marginal risk, but they could very well get upgraded to a slight risk for severe storms on Tuesday this week. But same goes for the rest of this area too as well. Look at that, from Minnesota all the way down into Tennessee, and as well as the western part of the Carolinas will definitely be an area to also be watching for too as well. And look at that, as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and perhaps Friday, still continuing to see those chances for severe thunderstorms across the Midwest, back into the Ohio Valley especially, but even into portions there of the Mid-Atlantic will be areas to be watching for these next few days, as we could very well be seeing those chances for severe thunderstorms, including maybe a low potential for tornadoes each day, but I would probably be more concerned about a potential upgrade for damaging winds and of course hail especially. Now, if we look at the flash flood threat, okay, this is looking a lot more concerning, okay, because I actually was right in the last few videos that this would upgrade to a slight risk across southern Indiana and southern Illinois. I was right about that extending into both of those areas, so if you do live in those areas, definitely be on very high alert for some potential rainfall. And of course, those models do really want to point out quite a bit of rainfall across that area, not all, but some. And of course, that even continues from northeast Missouri all the way up through Minnesota and of course into southern Canada. So it's definitely going to be a huge corridor to watch for. We could very well even see that slight risk connect with that slight risk. So it's something that we do really need to be keeping an eye on as we do head into this afternoon, because this is going to be for today, by the way, okay? This is going to be for today. And then as we do head into tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow we do have a slight risk for flash flooding across the lower Ohio Valley heading through the Appalachian Mountains, okay? Pretty big area to be watching closely for, especially across eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, and eastern Georgia, but western West Virginia, western Virginia, western North Carolina, and western South Carolina will all be areas to also watch for too as well, perhaps. And then as we finally do head into day 3, okay, that is going to be for after tomorrow on Tuesday, and as you guys can see, we do still have that area of concern across pretty much the same areas, including eastern Kentucky. Just once again, that's pretty crazy to see right there. And the reason why we see two risk for flash flooding across that area, which will be one tomorrow and one after tomorrow, which will be for Tuesday, like I said, it's because we could be seeing some really high rainfall totals across that area, and we're only looking a few days out, by the way, so we're not really looking way far out. We're only looking a few days out, like I said, and as you guys can see, high rainfall totals between 2 to 4 inches will be possible across that area, and that's exactly why the Weather Prediction Center issued 2 slight risk for flash flooding. But we could even be seeing some similar thing back over here into southern Illinois and southern Indiana, as we could very well be seeing those isolated areas of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, if why not 2 to 3 inches of rainfall in some areas. And that's pretty isolated, as you can see, so that's exactly why the Weather Prediction Center decided to extend that for flash flooding into both of those areas. Now, if we go ahead and look at the hazards, okay, like I said, this means means the chance of rainfall, the chance of heat, and all that stuff. And this is pretty much from day 3 through 7. So that will pretty much be for tomorrow through August 2nd. And as you guys can see, hazardous heat appears likely across the Northwest, which does include Washington and Oregon. We got a little area right there in southern Idaho to be watching closely for too as well. Another area there across eastern Montana. But the biggest area looks to be essential across the Central Plains and as well as the Midwest, where we'll likely see widespread hazardous heat during that time frame. And, of course, we need to be watching the Deep South, too, as well. But if you head farther to the east, you aren't really going to be at risk for hazardous heat necessarily, but you will be at risk for some pretty heavy rainfall. So that's exactly why, we do have that in place because of the flash flood threats. Okay, like I said, this is pretty much from tomorrow all the way to day 2, and that's because because we do have those flash flood threats. That's the reason why we do have that potential for very heavy rainfall. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I am going to be using I did use the same thumbnail as I did in the other video, and that's because the area of concern hasn't changed yet. So just letting you guys know about that, just in case you guys get confused about it. But, like I said, the area of concern hasn't changed yet, so that's because I am going to be doing that. But thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, any questions or concerns that you guys have about this weather. And, of course, let me know if you guys like this thumbnail or not, which I would appreciate.